Hey scrappers, if you're looking to figure out what materials you should sell this week or hold this week, now is the time to do it. Our weekly report is going to give you that information, up-to-date market news, pricing. Let's get right into it. We'll talk about it inside. Hey scrappers, today is Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. Welcome back. I know that we didn't have our regular live broadcast last week, but we'll talk about some of the things that happened in the market last week and then kind of talk about the market this week. But one thing I want to talk about, a lot of people have asked us all types of questions, and we have so many videos and blogs that we've made that if you ever want to learn about things, sometimes before you ask us a question, if you search our YouTube page, you're going to see videos that we've created on things from computer towers to taking air conditioners apart, separating different types of wires, separating different types of copper. So our YouTube channel has lots of videos on how you can make more money, and it has them on, over hundreds of topics that you have asked us over the years. So many of the questions that were asked, while we will make new videos, a lot of them are already up there and they're already kind of, content that's not going to change. So please just check out that YouTube channel. And when you're on there, check out our membership. If you are a YouTube member, you get videos that we don't post to everyone else. You also get 10% off our merchandise sales from our website and our shirts and things like that. So if you're looking for that gear, you get 10% off. But our YouTube members also get to ask us really great questions on their own, and we can answer them faster than we get back to some other comments. So check that out. But markets week over week, let's talk about oil and just jump right into it, because we have oil prices that are near 1 year highs. They're over 10-month highs, and oil is kind of cruising towards $100 a barrel, which hasn't been seen since June of 22. Why is that important? Well, the oil and gas prices and diesel prices are going to affect everything, from trucking to transport to refining to overseas shipping. All of the fuel prices have an incredible domino effect. And people say, well, how can they have such a domino effect if they're only going up a few dollars? Well, a few dollars per barrel could equal 25 to 50 cents per gallon. And when you have tractor trailers that are only getting 5 miles a gallon and they need to move copper, brass, steel, whatever it is, long distances, that gets added onto the freight costs. And when those prices get added in there, after a while, they're going to eat away at the profits. So scrap yards are going to be dropping their prices to offset some of the margins just from oil. So what we've seen happening, just to give you an idea, copper prices for the last month or two, and we'll bring some of the copper prices up, they've been relatively steady. We have a trading market today of 376, but we've seen an average for Bear Bright around $3. Let's click on Bear Bright real quick. We've seen this average for the last few weeks. If you look at the chart, these are national prices. And of course, there's different values you can see for the recent price history, but the average has really crept around that $3 mark. But here's something that's really interesting. I went to sell a load of material myself at Rockway Recycling. Let's say normally I was getting 20 cents off of whatever COMEX prices were, right? So if copper was trading at 380, I was selling it for 360. Same material, right? A month later is now being sold for 355. There's been an additional 5 cents of margin from the brokers, from the freight, and from the refiners that have been added into my price. Same load of material, same weights, right? Same delivery point. But over the last month, 5 cents has been added into my overhead costs. And eventually that's going to work itself into the customer's pockets, right? And that's where people get confused about the scrap prices when they say, well, we're watching the copper trading prices and they're not changing really, but our markets are going down. There's always a reason. I mean, a big part of that, steel markets right now, we're seeing steel prices dropping $10, $15 a ton. And a lot of that has to do with the steel prices dropping so low. And I just don't see a strong growth for steel for the balance of 23 and really for the first 3 months of 24. So for the next 6.5, 7 months, I don't see a lot of good going on. If we're looking at average shred prices right now, look, 150 bucks a ton, 130, 165, 135, 6 cents. These prices are just that's where they are, and they're not going to be improving. I don't see any type of squeeze on the markets. There's so much material out there because demolitions are still happening on a commercial side, producing thousands of tons of steel because they're still looking to development. But again, we talked about this a few weeks ago. The development that's happening is more on the condo and home side of things. Yes, there are, buildings going up that require steel, but a lot of these buildings, I was driving in New Jersey in 3 different locations over the last 2 weeks, and I saw warehouses going up with preformed concrete panels. Well, that's not good for the steel market because you only need a little bit of rebar to put those panels together. You don't need a massive amount of I-beams and infrastructure because these buildings are being engineered differently. So other than the rebar in the floor for the concrete and some in the walls, most of the trusses that are out there, they're very light gauge steel, and that means that it's less material. So it's good from a building point of view because your costs are down. But from a scrapping point of view, I just don't see that increase coming. And this week, for the first time in a while, I recommend to sell every single type of steel that you have. I am holding on to 0 at my yard. And in the past, once in a while, I would hold things like rotors. They're heavy, they're dense, they're higher prices. I'm selling nothing. I'm holding nothing. If I get 5, 6, 7,000, 10,000 pounds of rotors, it's gone. If I get a half full dumpster of light iron, it's gone. So if you're at your house saving things other than items that need to be taken apart, right, but just steel, I wouldn't be saving it. I would be getting it out as quickly as I can, unloading the trailers, and just move on to things that make you money, right? And steel is not going to make you money, but it is going to cause you aggravations for the next few months because the prices are what they are. So if it gets in your truck, I recommend getting it out pretty freaking quickly. So I want to talk about a couple of other things. I had a lot of great responses on what pisses me off at my scrapyard. So any other ideas that you want me to talk about, things that might annoy me as a scrapyard owner, or you from a scrapper point of view, send us ideas. You could even send your own video of what pisses you off going to the scrapyard. And as long as it's the kind of PG, PC, PG, we'll post it. I'd love to hear what you get upset about. Because one thing I know I'm not getting upset about is, not learning from people. Excuse me. One thing that upsets me is when people don't tell me what we can do better. So, certainly check that out. Real quick, don't forget, this is our Hustle Hard, Scrap Harder shirt. I think this is showing.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, maybe it's not showing that well. Here, that's good. This is our Hustle Hard, Scrap Harder shirt. This is almost going to be out of production in the next few weeks. So if you're looking to get this cool shirt, we got iScrap on the front. Make sure you check out our store. This will be moving. I've wore this a few times already. I almost put it on today, and then I was told not to, so I could show it a little more and not have to turn myself around. So going there. But one thing that I did see, we had some questions about titanium, and it's so interesting because when you talk about titanium, it's not a market that I generally ever talk about in our weekly report because it's not a metal that you're really ever getting week to week. But titanium is a metal that is out there. It is used in implants for bones. It's used in the aerospace industry. It could be used in bike frames. It could even be used in golf clubs. But one thing it isn't is in high demand when it comes to prices. Titanium, when we buy it from different machine shops and dealers, could be anywhere from 50 cents to $2.50 a pound. Believe it or not, copper is generally always worth more than titanium. So you hear titanium and you think, oh my gosh, this is so much money. It's not. It really is not. But titanium, when you look at it, it has it reminds me of like if aluminum and stainless had a kid, that's what titanium looks like to me. So if you ever want to, think about it, it has that very light feeling of aluminum with the strength of stainless steel. And the next time we get some titanium in that I can show you, I'll make a quick video. This way you can just see what it looks like and see how strong it is. And that's why it's used in aerospace. That's why it's used in joint replacement. It's a strong metal that doesn't corrode. It can be put in, and it's very light. It has a similar quality and kind of dexterity to bone structure. That's why they use it, whether it's for shoulder sockets, for teeth implants, for the pin that goes into the gum, or any other body replacement. But titanium is generally ones that's used very often. On top of that, I know that they use like 17-4 steel screws. They're not magnetic. So we'll make a video on titanium, but we love to hear that. But we also know that a lot of people have been upset on how they sell their aluminum. We've seen some of the comments. And one of the things that it kind of says here, Facebook group has a few scrappers who are frustrated with the grading that they've received for their aluminum. With so many different grades and a lack of transparency and regulation between the yards, it seems like many scrappers just want to know why a yard would grade something as one material over another. And this is really a video that goes deep into things. And we've talked about this through different YouTube videos. We've talked about the difference of aluminum extrusions, aluminum grades. And if you checked out our YouTube page, you'd be able to see a lot of the videos explaining sheet aluminum, cast aluminum, dirtier grades of aluminum, aluminum copper radiators, how you can't separate those, what to look for, how you strip different types of insulated aluminum, how you remove aluminum from different items like lawnmowers to make more money. And we have a lot of these videos that are on there that allow you to see them, to learn about them. Here's just a quick search of different ways to make money. Recap for aluminum. Can you clean aluminum with root killers? We've done different videos kind of debunking theories, scrap outlooks on aluminum, basics of aluminum siding, aluminum wire, ACRs, air conditioners, cast aluminum, extrusions. So we have lots of information on here when it looks at aluminum. And if you're kind of looking to learn more about them, please check that out, because we have these videos on there for you to make money on them. And when you make more money on them, that helps you get value with us, and then report a lot of those prices online, which allows us to learn what's going on with the market. So here's a video just talking about, is it aluminum extrusions or is it cast aluminum? Just an example.
We are going to talk about cast aluminum and extruded aluminum, which is both one of the most talked.
Some of them are also me showing you what to do. So by all means, check those videos out as well. Now, catalytic converter side of things, we've seen a little life over the last week. We've seen platinum prices up close to 4%. We've seen palladium prices jumping over 2%, and rhodium is right around in the 1% increase range. Unfortunately, those are all increases on numbers that are very low. And we're going to pull up some of the national averages brought to you by rrcats.com. If you're looking to sell your catalytic converter, even with the new laws and the regulations, working with rrcats.com gives you the ability to have 10-day price locks, as well as to have free shipping on OEM catalytic converters. So let's just pull up, not this ad, but let's pull up some of the national prices. Right now, we're averaging $84.12. So we're still below our 30-day running average when it comes to cats. But we are getting, a little sign of increase. If we scroll over the September of last week, you can start to see just the little market movements, really 82, 81, 82, back to 84. So, we are seeing an increase. I don't think it's going to be big increases coming. When I see other precious metals like gold continuing to weaken a little bit, being in the $1,920 range, I know metals like platinum and palladium are not going to be there. On top of that, we got this United Auto Workers strike going on, and it's something that I haven't talked about. But, when you have the beginnings of a large strike, Who knows what's going to happen to the metals industry or the catalytic converter demand? What may be happening as more and more union workers strike? We may see less cars being created, and the gluttony, the production of new aluminum, new steel, new metals for the catalytic converters, that's going to continue. But what's going to happen is the inventories are going to build. And when they see the inventories building and not being consumed because the workers are striking, that's going to hurt the metal prices. So it wouldn't shock me in October if this strike is still going on and we're in the second, third, fourth week. Hopefully we don't get that far. I could start to see metal prices decreasing for some of these baseline metals.
And do you see any effect on any recession with consumers not buying as many cars affecting it as well?
I think the problem, the effect with the recession is not going to be people with cars. It's going to be more geared towards that credit card debt and the car payments. While they're going up, some of the loans are starting to be defaulted on, but I think that some of those rates are going to be renegotiated when it comes to lenders and borrowers. What we're really going to be worried about is people that are going to stop buying cars because the credit card debt is going up so high. And today we're going to learn if the Federal Reserve is increasing interest rates. But we're looking at these markets, and with interest rates continuing to creep up, that's a real problem. You know, we bought a work vehicle at Rockway Recycling 2 years ago with a 0% loan. We had to buy another work vehicle, and the loan is going to be at 4.2%, and that's a 2-year difference. So all of a sudden, we're going to be paying more interest on loans that we weren't. And that's as a business, consumers are generally paying a little less on a personal side, but you're still not going to be getting these 0% loans. And with car prices, I believe I heard a number the other day that the average new car right now is at $43,000. There's only one car on the market that's listed for less than $20,000, and an average electric vehicle is now over $53,000. You just have these markets that are not keeping up with some of the wage decreases through inflation that we've been seeing. So the metal demand may slow as we go into 2024. But of course, you'll have to tune in December when we do our 2023 recap and our 2024 preview. But hopefully this gives you a really good idea what's going on with the markets week over week. So scrappers, let us know. We have our video series. We actually just scheduled our date to go and do all the different car dismantling videos. We got about 8 to 10 videos that we're going to be shooting. Those will be getting released towards the end of October and into November. So again, let us know any other things that you're looking for us to talk about. Let us know as well. Do not forget, please report your prices. My cousin was up in New Hampshire yesterday, and he sends me a picture of his pickup truck and his trailer at his local scrap yard, and I don't get upset because he's 4 hours away. And then he sends me a picture of his receipt. I go, no, you gotta upload it to iScrap. So I sent him the link, and he did actually upload the prices. But that just allows you and other scrappers to learn more about the markets and what's going on across the country. So don't forget to check out our store, buy some gear. We got those limited time shirts that are going to be disappearing soon. So please check out shop.iscrapapp.com today. And if you're looking for more videos, our YouTube membership is readily available. We have videos that get posted every single week to members only, so check that out. Until next week, scrappers, this is Tom, and I'll scrap you later.
Thanks for watching our video. For $2.99 a month, by becoming a member, you can get access to early videos, member-only videos, merchandise discounts from our store, and priority comments that we answer before answering any other scrappers. Click the link below to learn more. Until next time, scrap you later.